Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Tayo Salam.
And I'm sure you know it's always a delight to have you join us. I'm Austin Okonakman.
Let's get started with the show now. It's 17 days to go for the commencement of the Rio Olympic Games. And for Team Nigeria, luckily money will be released by Wednesday. That's according to a report coming from the Sports Ministry.
Okay, Wednesday it is. That's tomorrow, Cecilia.
That's just tomorrow.
That's just tomorrow. We will be monitoring the situation with Nigeria, but it's just 17 more days to go. And moving on now, the Nigeria Football Federation, they have taken a step closer towards getting a new coach for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Actually, they've called this guy the new technical advisor. That's the recommendation that the NFF Technical Committee made, Paul Le Guen. But as it is, the deal is still inconclusive because he needs to agree to some of the clauses of the contract.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, until the deal is signed, sealed, and delivered, you can't really say or you can't really celebrate. So we'll wait. Hopefully, it's done and dusted as soon as possible so he can get to work. Okay. Also on the show, we talked about it yesterday, Cecilia and Austin. The World Anti-Doping Agency has recommended banning all Russian athletes from the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Incredible stuff. Cecilia, you were saying it yesterday, and I was talking about how they needed, solid evidence, to come up with anything like this. And according to WADA, all Russian athletes should be excluded from the Rio 2016 Olympics. Yeah. It's incredible. It's as fry pan to fire, from one trouble to the other for Russia. I wonder how they're going to come out of this one.
I wasn't surprised at all. All they were doing was just waiting for Richard McLaren's report.
Yes.
He has been investigating it since last year. And at the end of when you listen to Richard, when he was actually ruling out, the systemic doping, how they had to set up a laboratory in Moscow, to actually exactly, to actually, change, just exchange blood samples. You have a laboratory that maybe when an athlete had to, after giving out, giving out his own samples. The one that they'll switch it with another one, and they won't even know, which is which.
Wow.
So it's like a systemic thing, something that was actually sponsored by the state, according to WADA, because for a laboratory to be doing that, it simply means everyone was actually involved in it. He says it's not just only athletics, other sports, from weightlifting to wrestling, especially in Sochi.
Also the Winter Games.
The Winter Games, that's where the whole issue actually, blew up and all that, because they felt they've not really been going to championship or Olympics. The one in Vancouver, coming out, well, they feel, okay, they can actually step it up a little bit and get to win more medals, and in that process, do something that was really not good.
Tough times, Tayo, Cecilia. Tough times for Russia. Particularly Tayo, that banging headline, ban them all.
Ban them all. That's the message.
Strong, harsh message.
Very, very strong from the World Anti-Doping Agency. They're the watchdog. They're there to ensure athletes compete, clean.
That's right.
They're there to protect clean athletes, and that's why they've come up with this recommendation. And so it's over to the International Olympic Committee now, to decide the fate of Russia. Imagine Russia not being part of the Olympics, a massive country, a massive sporting country.
Big setback.
Massive setback for their sport. So we'll see how this pans out at the end of the day. Richard McLaren, Cecilia, you spoke about him earlier, he's been the one, investigating and has put the report together, that has actually put Russia in this particular fix. So let's listen to Richard McLaren.
Investigation. The Moscow laboratory operated for the protection of doped Russian athletes within a state-directed. Our commission of investigation uncovered the following. First, the Moscow laboratory operated for the protection of doped Russian athletes within a state-directed fail-safe system, which we describe in the report as the disappearing positive methodology. Second, the Sochi laboratory operated a unique sample swapping methodology to enable doped Russian athletes to compete at the Winter Olympic Games. Third, the Russian Ministry of Sport directed, controlled, and oversaw the manipulation of athletes' analytical results or sample swapping. I also want to emphasize from those three key findings that Russian athletes competing in a wide range of disciplines were involved. This is not just about what we in North America call track and field and others call athletics. It covers many sports. The system was set up after Russian authorities felt it was an abysmal medal count by the Russian Olympic team at the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics, and was in place until at least August of 2015. In essence, the disappearing positive methodology allowed transformation of positive analytical results into a negative one by an order from the Deputy Minister of Sport, that the operational analytical processes of the Moscow laboratory be altered and a false record filed with WADA and in the laboratory records. Ministry of Sport, RUSADA, that's the doping agency in Russia, anti-doping agency in Russia, and the CSP were all involved in this operation.
Have been involved, or maybe would add which sports and
the disappearing positive methodology was in operation in the Moscow lab continuously.
That's it, author of the WADA report, Richard McLaren, Tayo Cecilia, going by what he said, it was indeed a state-sponsored, systematic, well-arranged program.
not isolated cases, involving a couple of athletes or anything like that. So that's why they're in big trouble now. And
manipulation of athletes.
It is. But it's not a new phenomenon. It's been happening for a long time. I remember back in the days, and I think it happened with Germany.
But was it this bad?
Of course it was. It was a very similar situation.
Yeah, but just that the searchlight now is tougher,
Exactly.
And I think the IOC, WADA, they just want someone that they can use as a scapegoat so that others can change. Remember when they started with Russia, they said, look, other guys, start getting ready.
Exactly.
We are
We're
coming.
watching you.
We're watching and we're coming for you. So it's about time. We need clean people to participate in sports. You don't want you to go break a record and 2 years after they say, no, that record can't stand anymore because you weren't clean, and all of that. So,
when the athletes are not performing well, you just have a state, a Ministry of Sport that will actually oversee the manipulation of different results when your athletes
It's absolutely wrong.
It's wrong.
It's absolutely wrong. It's unacceptable, and that's why they've been dealt with now. So they have to wait for the decision to see whether the wrestlers, the boxers, all the athletes can actually go to Rio. We know the track and field guys are not going anyways.
Wow. So that one, they are not even bothered. They are just waiting for Tokyo.
Although they still have the option of competing under a neutral flag, compete for themselves.
Before you can even do that, the process you just have to
pass it is, through. Of course, but if you're sure you're clean, you don't have any worries at all, and no skeletons in cupboard, then
I'm sure Simba said, she said, look, I might just go somewhere else. I'm not applying for all this.
I'm just trying to imagine if the whistleblower, the husband and wife who actually started this whole thing, if they have not even come up to, talk about it.
No, they should.
No, I'm just saying, if that didn't happen, you understand? So you'd have been like, oh, Russia, have actually improved. I mean, they're winning medals now at the Olympics, even the Winter Games and everything and all that. We just keep singing the praises and everything, that they've left other countries behind and all that, not knowing they're actually doing something that the others are not doing.
Okay, see that guy right there with his hand on his head and he's saying, God, what does
that was before, the recommendation
came out. They were hopeful and then the recommendation came, wasn't in their favor. And then they said, come on, what would the IOC say?
Now they've done this. It's supposed to be more like a send forth for them.
But they're going nowhere at the moment.
Don't say that.
Another round
at the moment.
Another round. They waited for the report to come out. Now another round of waiting. For the IOC to make a decision on this particular one. So good luck to all of them.
17 more days to the 2016 Rio Olympics. Can you believe it? Just 17 more days. And then officials in Rio, they're putting finishing touches. They are doing everything they can to ensure that we have a safe event in Rio. Do you know what they're doing? They're making sure security is top notch. Tayo, Cecilia, you see what they're doing in Brazil. It was just a bag, but I don't like where the bag was positioned. And so they descended on it properly. They're not taking chances.
No chances. I mean, security has to be
close. That was actually inside. Nothing.
Security.
No. And nobody should go close first. Just use that machine to bring it out to the public. Oh my God!
I won't blame them.
This is normal.
Seeing a bag, wondering what's inside and all that, because it's really strange. You know, in Brazil, you really don't see things like this. And with the level of insecurity across the world, even the bigger countries like France, what's happening there, Belgium, Turkey, and everywhere. So you definitely just have to be afraid.
It's serious business.
I mean, they have to show
they're ready.
They have to show that they're ready, security-wise. And like Cecilia said, it's all over the world now. The terrorism, on every major sporting event surely is a target for these fanatics. And the Brazilian authorities are not taking chances at all. That bag didn't contain anything, fortunately, just clothes. And but they still have the job to do, and they've done it. So thumbs up to them.
Yeah.
Hopefully they carry on in that same way. And
at the Olympics.
So,
Rio de Janeiro security officials.
And finally, it's just a bag that he can carry comfortably without any form of worry or fear.
High on alert.
Everyone going to the games has a role to play when it comes to the security.
Yeah.
Someone saw a man drop the bag. They found it suspicious and they called the authorities. So it's not only the security. Everyone going there has a role to play. Yeah. Whenever you see something that you feel is suspicious, call the appropriate authorities to prevent any kind of disaster.
Especially when the area is actually a residential area. You have office buildings, the theater. You also have schools also in that area too. I think the person who actually called the police did the right thing.
Of course.
That's the right thing to do, because you never can tell what will happen. You see it, okay, it's just a bag, and before you know it's something.
Everyone has a responsibility to protect the society. Let's move on now. It's not just Brazil. Brazil is getting ready. Other countries competing at the competition, they are also getting ready. Mexico, they say, look, we were tired of hearing about Zika. So athletes, come, take Zika prevention kits. Just want you to go to the Olympics, but be safe.
Yeah, right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, preventive measures by Mexico. I imagine all other countries will do the same as well too. I mean, the fear of Zika, the beginning of wisdom has been, has dominated headlines for a while now. So yeah, good one for Mexico, and all those other guys that are pulling out. Perhaps it's time to have a change of mind.
The list is out already. I mean, 120 Mexican athletes are going for the Olympics, all of them having the kits. Fantastic. That's a good one.
Fantastic. Cecilia, let's run through the Tigers' preparation for the Olympics. Yes, we love it that they're getting busy, and when you beat Argentina, you're warming up for the United States of America. It means you're preparing.
Yeah, definitely. Of course. Especially when you remember what the Argentines did to them,
Yeah, the Stankovic Cup. Yeah, that was
a huge match.
Yeah, 71-49 loss, and that was at the Stankovic Cup. But they had the opportunity to play again early this morning. That was at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, and Nigeria won that one 96-92. Ike Diogo's good seeing back and playing well, 18.7 rebounds. Josh Akognon had 17.3 assists, and Mike Gbinije, the young star, drafted by the Detroit Pistons, had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Alfaro Camino didn't play, boys in camp. And we also had Ime Udoka, former D-Tigers player. He was there as well. To Greg Popovich, the great San Antonio's sports coach. He was in the building as well to watch Nigeria play Argentina. So it's good. It's good to see Nigeria playing and getting ready.
They play again on Wednesday?
They play again on Wednesday,